returning to work, establishing mental focus, leadership, and reconnecting after a long break.
So today I'm making a house call, and I'm here visiting Diago. And this is the first time we've had the opportunity to work together after a long break. And before we could get started, I have to make sure that we're both prepared to work. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring Diago into the middle of the corral. I'm going to let him go and see what choice he makes. Now, many of us are familiar with a horse that may not want to do anything, just walks away, very disrespectful to me. Um, Anytime I approach him, he wants to run off. And so the first thing I do is I start to try to gain leadership out there. And I do that by making any choice that I anticipate he's going to make my choice. I also do that by driving him on the hind end and imitating the role of the lead horse out in the corral. Now, what I'm going to do is take the first opportunity I can to actually get a hold of Diago here, because I don't want to reinforce any negative behavior and let him feel that he's dictating what's going on out there. I'm going to get him on the long line and get him set in the middle of the corral, and we're going to start to do some very simple exercises. As you can see here, I have a few issues with Diago before I could really start working. First of all, I'm not the boss. There's no leadership. Second of all, he's not focused, and his head is not in the game. Third is we're not communicating with one another whatsoever, and there's probably some trust issues that are between us. And so the first thing I do is, as I'm not doing longier work here, what I'm doing is I'm really driving that hind in. And I'm putting as much pressure as I can on, because I want him to know right now that I dictate everything, and that I'm the boss. And what I'm looking for is a few things. First of all, I'm trying to get those hips to move around, so he starts to head up with me, face on face. Anytime I move him and move those hips, that's control that I have, and control I have over him. And anytime that I show him he needs to come face on face with me, it's also for him discipline. When he makes the wrong move and I don't like it, I get those hips moving. Second thing it does is it imitates a lead horse. And you see, I'm always going at the hindquarters. You're never going to see me attack the front of the horse. That's a big no-no. Anytime we put pressure on the horse in this exercise, we always do it from the hind end. And as soon as he makes the right move, he starts just to chew a little bit at the mouth, and say comes down a little bit, I take that pressure away. Because I'm not training him right now. What I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to get his... No, I shouldn't say that. Anytime we're making a move with the horse, we are training them. But I'm trying to get him prepared to work. And so, as you can see, his movement is starting to become right. He's starting to pay attention to me. He knows that, if I move at his hips now, he should move him around. But he's really not swinging them. And you can really tell I was pretty aggressive. And it didn't really bother him too much. He didn't really get him around that quick. What we're also doing is we're starting to communicate a little bit with my body language. You see, every move that I make with my body it tells him something. How he's supposed to stand, what I'm going to do, and I want him to start to remember what that is, and I want him to start responding to those things. So now I'm going to give him a little bit more line, and I'm going to start really moving my body at that hind end again, because the one thing that I don't have is the leadership role. He still has his head high a little bit, his chin's in, he's not chewing at the mouth. You can see he still kind of looks off in the distance. And so I'm really going to start driving him on that hind end. And you have to be patient here. Patience is key. We're not going to start doing any work until I have his head in the game, until he understands that I'm the boss, and also until I'm prepared. Because, I don't feel prepared right now because the horse isn't reacting to me the way I would like him to. So a simple rule that we follow, a best practice for all trainers, is we suggest everything as as nicely and as polite as possible, but we follow through as hard as needed. And you can also see here, for example, I'm pulling his head in just a little bit because I want him to really start focusing on me. If his head's out and his chin's out, that's a sign of disrespect. So here he makes a move on his own. He says, okay, I've had enough pressure, and he brings those hips around. But I see for a second he looked away a second. So he knew, okay, I need to bring the hips around, so I stopped the pressure. But his body was in the game, but his mind wasn't. So I need to get the complete package. Now I see he starts chewing a little bit. So I take that pressure off. I start some movement with him, and I'm waiting to see what he's going to do with his mind. If he's going to stay focused on. You see, he looks away there. As soon as he looks away, I'm going to start putting the pressure on a little bit, just to show him, hey, if your mind's anywhere else, the pressure's coming. The only thing that you're allowed to focus on today, at this moment, is me. You see that head comes down just a little bit there. See the ears are forward now. He gets that one ear on me real good, so he's starting to listen. So we're starting to make a little bit of progress. I don't know if you can see it on the video. I could see it. And what's very important to this exercise is, as the trainer, you have to feel confident as well. And as you start to get him moving around and doing what you want him to do, it helps you get prepared with confidence. It's definitely needed when we're training these horses. And it keeps you honest. It's a good self-check, what type of attitude you have, and if you're prepared for the day. So you have to be patient. We're just going to keep on driving. You can see I'm doing anything and everything to kind of get those hips moving. If he wants to go slower, I'm going to speed him up. I'm not going to let him dictate his speed whatsoever out there. And there's a reason I'm moving my body. I'm really trying to come on that height end. The perfect solution would be to do this in a round pen. We don't have a round pen at his owner's place, and so I'm doing this on a line. But in the perfect world, we would do this in a round pen, without the long line. But you see, he started chewing there. He's really starting to get focused on me now. So I'm gonna come in there real slow. Talk to him a little bit, confirm that what he just did was right by bringing those hips around. And of course, both ways are important. But now what I'm trying to do is set up communication with my body. So as you see, I took those steps back. He knows what that means. He knows that means to stop and get that hip around, and he's not doing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push it through until he gets it right. And we make sure we do everything on both sides. I took a few clips out just for the sake of time. Now I'm not really putting pressure. I'm just moving my body. You can see that he's starting to focus. His head's come down quite a bit. And I'm starting to feel more comfortable with the situation. So he gets a positive reinforcement. That's the right thing to do. And this left side is a weak side about getting that hip around. So I'm just going to work that a little bit more. So when I turn and face him with my body, he gets it around, gets head on head with me. Now I've seen enough. I need now to try to connect with this horse. I've got him focused. I've established leadership out there with him today. But there's one thing that we still haven't done. We haven't truly connected on the levels I like to connect with before I start to work with the horse. And that connection doesn't come through anything I do. That connection comes through the free choice the horse exercises to want to work with me, to want to turn his will over to me, and that's what we're going to try to establish now and see if he'll do. So as you can see, I keep moving him. I keep dictating what's happening out there, and I'm doing this without a line because what we're doing now is we're confirming the mental connection, which is stronger than any other connection you're going to have as a horse trainer. And you see he didn't come forward on that shoulder how he's supposed to, so instead of doing it wrong, I back up, I stop, and I just do a little body movement, get him moving on the shoulder where he's supposed to be, give him a little reminder, turn my body, brings those hips around, head on head, and now I'm just going to get some distance between us to see if he really is going to stay focused on me for today. And the more distance I have between him and I, the more freedom I give him to make the choice what to do. And I'm still waiting for that ultimate connection to happen where he actually comes to me and says, okay, let's do this, and where we mentally bond for the day and are prepared to work and prepared to perform. So that head is coming down a little bit more. The focus is really on me now. And now I see his movement's good, and he's starting to read my body language really well. Now for me today, this is the moment where he walks in on his own and he connects up right now. This is where the connection really happens for me. When he says, okay, I'm staying on this shoulder, I'm going to put myself in the position I know I'm supposed to be in. And you can see that every step we're taking now, he's becoming more relaxed, he's becoming more focused, his head keeps on coming down a little bit more every step, and I'm waiting for that ultimate sign that says, okay, Phil, I'm ready. So what have we done? We've established leadership, we're communicating out there, I've got respect, we're connecting, and now what I need him to say is I'm ready to work, I'm focused, my head is in the game. And we're almost there. So in these last moments, I start to walk away from him, giving him free choice to do what he wants. He starts to move in on me. You see his head keeps on coming down lower and lower, showing that I'm the boss. You can see that he's really chewing at the mouth yet, so I turn in on him. And now, there's the sign. He just takes a deep breath, he's relaxed, he's chewing, he's nodding at the ground, and he's saying, okay, let's do this. My head is in the game. And this is how we get prepared to work. I don't start working a horse until I've established this connection with him. We're both warm, we're both focused, and now we can move on for the day.